My name is Carole Holmberg, and I am here to share with you about eclipses. There are two solar eclipses coming up on Saturday, October 14th, 2023, and Monday, April 8th, 2024. Both will be partial here in South Carolina. I'm going to share with you what solar eclipses are, why they are so special, when and where to look, as well as how to view the sun safely. There are two solar eclipses happening coming up, and the difference between a solar eclipse and a lunar eclipse is for a solar eclipse, the moon is between Earth and sun. And for a lunar eclipse, the Earth is between the moon and the sun. A solar eclipse, the moon is new and the sun is in shadow. And for a lunar eclipse, the moon is full and the moon is in shadow. We'll start with a lunar eclipse. When the Earth passes between moon and sun, the moon doesn't get any sunlight, but the Earth's atmosphere will refract some sunlight, so the moon doesn't disappear, but it turns red. For a solar eclipse, the sun is covered by the moon, and there are three different types of a solar eclipse. There's the total solar eclipse that you might have heard of. There was one in 2017 where the moon covers all of the sun except for the outer area, the corona. There is the annular eclipse, which is what we are having in October. And in an annular eclipse, the moon doesn't cover all of the sun. We call it sometimes a ring of fire eclipse. And partial eclipses, the moon doesn't cover the entire sun. There's the even rarer hybrid solar eclipse, where some of the eclipse is total and some of it is annular, and that is pretty rare. For a total solar eclipse, the moon passes right between sun and Earth, blocks all of the sun, and you see only the beautiful solar corona, which is normally too faint for you to see, the outer atmosphere of the sun. Beautiful thing. And some people will be experiencing that on April 8th. The annular solar eclipse, sometimes called the ring of fire eclipse, all of the conditions of a total solar eclipse are met, but the moon is too far away to block all of the sun, leaving a ring of light. And you can see at the center of it, there's still a ring. And a partial solar eclipse, the moon passes in front of the sun and blocks just part of the sun. And here is what a solar eclipse looks like from space. You can see the shadow of the moon falling on Earth, and people inside that shadow will experience one of those eclipse types. Now, for an annular eclipse, all of the conditions of an eclipse are met, of a total solar eclipse are met, only the moon is in apogee. It's a little bit too far away for you to be able to see a total solar eclipse, leaving the ring of fire. Annular is come from the Latin word annulus, which means ring. Solar eclipses are possible only because the sun and the moon have the same apparent size in the sky. The moon is 400 times smaller than the sun, and also it's 400 times closer than the sun. So that means that the moon just barely fits inside the sun as seen from Earth. We are the only planet, Earth is the only planet where a moon is capable of doing this. Now, eclipses do not happen every month because the orbit of the moon is tilted 5 degrees from the orbit of Earth around the sun. We do have at least two solar eclipses and 2 lunar eclipses on average. I should say we have 2 and 2 on average. Sometimes we have more, sometimes we have less. You might experience lunar eclipses more because everyone on the dark side of Earth experiences a lunar eclipse, but solar eclipses are only, there's a little path only about 70 miles wide where people on Earth can experience a total solar eclipse. Now, everyone can participate in a solar eclipse. You just have to do it safely. You don't need a telescope. You as long as you have the special glasses, you can do it, or you can observe the sun indirectly, and I will talk about that as well. Now, the upcoming eclipses are on the 14th of October. We're going to have an annular solar eclipse, and there will be a total solar eclipse on April 8th. To see them, either the annular or the total, you must be in the path of annulary or totality. Those are relatively thin ribbons. I'm going to show them next. But here in York County, we're only going to see partial eclipses. And everyone in the US will see at least partial eclipses. And that is if it's clear out. If it's cloudy, there's no eclipse to see. And here is the path of the October 14th eclipse. It's the colorful ribbon going from Oregon into actually Mexico. And everyone in that colorful path is going to see an annular eclipse. Everyone else is going to see a partial eclipse. And here in York County, we're at the 40-something% mark. And here is the path, the ribbon of the total solar eclipse of April 8th. And you can see that everything is, everyone is going to experience at least a partial eclipse, and people in the colorful ribbon are going to see a total solar eclipse. It's moving from southwest to northeast. It's going to go through Texas and go all the way through Maine. And here is the circumstances for York County. On October 14th, the eclipse starts here at 11:50 a.m. and maximum eclipse is at 1:16 when 43% of the sun is covered, and it will end at 2:45. For April 8th, the whole eclipse starts at 1:53 p.m. and its maximum at 3:11 p.m. at 79%. and it will end at 4:26 p.m. There are apps that will explain this to you. I use the Totality app on my Android phone, or you can just write this information down. And once again, if it's cloudy, you're not going to see anything. Never, ever stare at the sun. A solar eclipse is not safe with unprotected eyes except during totality. And there's not going to be any totality here. There's not going to be any totality for anyone for the October annular eclipse, and for the April 8th total eclipse, it's just in that narrow band. And for the partial, until there's totality, those people cannot safely stare at the sun. You need special filters or indirect techniques to observe the sun safely. And the sun is not more dangerous during an eclipse. It's not safe to stare at with your unaided eyes anytime. So to view the sun safely, because we want everyone to experience the eclipse, you need special glasses, or you need to project images using shadows or a pinhole projector. I will talk about that in a little while. Or you can live stream the event. It's going to be on the internet as well. So the special glasses, you do need them. You do not use regular sunglasses. They are not safe to look at through. They do make it easier to see, but they still do not protect your eyes from infrared and ultraviolet rays. Your retinas don't have nerve receptors, so you might not even know that you're doing damage by using regular sunglasses until the eclipse is over. Now, besides the special eclipse glasses, welder's glass number 14 or higher is also safe. Not many people have number 14. And remember that it's 2 number 10s to equal a number 14. It's not a number 10 plus a number 4. I find that using welder's glass gives the sun an unpleasant bluish tint, whereas the eclipse glasses give the sun a more pleasant orange tint. And for small children, use rubber bands to hold the glasses in place, because you can't look at the sun safely without using the special glasses. And remember to put the glasses on before looking up at the sun. Now, when you have glasses, they need to be ISO 12312-2 international standard. The ones that the library provides are certified safe. The ones at the Museum of York County that you can buy are certified safe. They are from one of the 3 manufacturers that meet the standard and they're made in the US: Rainbow Symphony, American Paper Optics, or Thousand Oaks Optical. There are some knockoff glasses that are not made in the US that may say that they are ISO 12312-2 certified, but they're not. So just get them from a reputable source. Don't get the cheapest glasses that you can get from eBay, and they will protect your eyes. What to avoid other than cheap knockoff filters: dark sunglasses make it easier to see the sun. but they do not protect your eyes from ultraviolet and infrared rays. Neutral density filters made for camera lenses are not safe. Smoked glass is not safe. Exposed film, there is a type of black and white exposed film that is safe, but they don't make it anymore. So any exposed film that you get is not safe now. X-rays, water, space blankets. People sometimes have asked if mylar balloons or potato chip bags are safe. They are not. Clouds could part at any time. So while you might be able to see the sun through clouds, it's not safe. Eclipse glasses should never be used when looking through telescopes, binoculars, cameras, or phones. And I wanted to say a few words about phones. They do sell filters for phones and cameras for about $20. You're going to need a special filter for your phone. If you look at the sun through your phone viewfinder, or even if you aim your phone towards the sun, you might damage it. So don't try it unless you don't particularly care for your camera or phone. There is indirect viewing. So even if you don't have the glasses, or if you do, it's kind of fun. Look around for things that are round that you might see, that you don't have to look at the sun for. Use your fingers or the leaves of trees, and you will see they look a little bit, the shadows look a little bit different because they're projecting an image of the eclipse sun. You can use a colander, which is what they've done there, or anything with holes. A pegboard should be very interesting if you aim it on the ground. Now, some people like these pinhole projectors made out of cereal boxes or cardboard boxes. I don't particularly care for them because the image that you see is small, and there is such a desire to turn around and look at the sun directly. But they do work. And this is a reflecting pinhole projector. You use a mirror that's shining at the sun with a hole in it, and you aim it at a darkened room. I've never actually tried this because it's difficult, and you're going to have to keep moving the mirror as the sun moves through the sky. Now, even if it's cloudy, you can experience the live stream. The Exploratorium is actually has 4 different locations that they are live streaming from. Just go to exploratorium.edu/eclipse, and you will pick those up. And out west, you'll be looking at the eclipse even before it reaches here. And tips for taking photos: treat your camera like your eyes, and if you're going to take pictures of the eclipse itself, get the special things that they make for cameras. And I think the best thing to do is to take pictures not of the eclipse itself, but of your loved ones, the people and environment around you. Those are the things that you are going to make memories of, and those are the things you're going to remember. taking a picture of the eclipse. They all look pretty much alike. And in the days before, practice the glasses safety. And whatever techniques you're going to use, practice those. You can talk about the eclipse and what makes it using a globe and a flashlight. You can use an embroidery or hula hoop and tilt it to explain why we don't have eclipses every month. You can try and cover the moon with your fingertip to see how big the moon and sun will be. Remember, the moon is about the size of the sun, and it's unsafe to look at the sun, but might as well cover the moon. You can talk about styrofoam balls. You can talk about modeling moon phases and seasons. And the eclipses are a perfect time to use geography and learn geography with your kids. On the day of, remember, you can watch a live stream. You can see the crescents. Here's a colander, and you can see that the moon is, or the sun is eclipsed. And you can use a pegboard or other objects with circle holes to see the eclipsed sun. Now, eclipses are beautiful. They inspire artists and musicians. Lunar eclipses are not scientifically valid or important anymore. They basically just prove that the Earth is round, because a lunar eclipse only happens all the time if the Earth is round. So it's early proof that the Earth is not flat. Solar eclipses help scientists even today. But 100 years ago, it was a solar eclipse that proved the theory of general relativity. And because you can see stars during the daytime when there's a total solar eclipse. And helium was discovered during a solar eclipse as well, even before it was discovered on Earth. NASA studies eclipses even today. They look at the inner solar corona, which you can only see during an eclipse. And they use the heat and energy transferred from the sun to see how it's a daytime portion where you can see the solar energy and the solar energy dissipating. And they NASA actually had 17 different studies for the 2017 total solar eclipse. And total solar eclipses allow us to study Earth's atmosphere under uncommon conditions. And we can see the Earth's upper atmosphere, where low Earth orbiting satellites and radio communication signals are. And here is my contact info. I work at the Museum of York County, and here's my phone number and my email address. One of the things that I do is answer the public's questions. So if you have a question about the eclipse or something else, I'm happy to talk with you or to email with you. And I hope that you enjoyed it and you learned something. And I hope that you experience both eclipses there, even though they're 2 to 5 times a year. it's a rare chance for us.